All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Subhadra Ramachandran. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to lay foundation stone of AIIMS at Rajkot in Gujarat today. Government and farmers unions agree on Environment Ordinance and Electricity Act during 6th round of talks. Next meeting on 4th of January. Centre declares Nagaland a disturbed area for 6 more months. Deadline for filing income tax return extended further. Education Minister to announce this evening schedule for upcoming CBSE Class 10th and 12th board examinations. And COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 95.99%. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lay the foundation stone of All India Institute of Medical Sciences AIIMS at Rajkot in Gujarat at 11 a.m. today through video conferencing. For the project, 201 acres of land has been allotted. It will be built at an estimated cost of 1,195 crore rupees and is expected to be completed by mid of 2022. The state-of-the-art 750-bed hospital will also have a 30-bed Ayush block. It will have 125 MBBS seats and 60 nursing seats. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired the 34th Pragati Interaction yesterday. In the meeting, various projects, programs and grievances were reviewed. Projects of the Ministry of Railways, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways and Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs were discussed. These projects with a total cost of about 1 lakh crore rupees pertain to 10 states and union territories including Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Jammu and Kashmir, West Bengal, Maharashtra, Delhi, Haryana, Gujarat and Dadra and Nagar Haveli. During the interaction, the programs Ayushman Bharat and Jal Jeevan Mission were reviewed. Grievances related to the Ministry of Consumer Affairs were also taken up. The Prime Minister directed all the officials to ensure and expedite comprehensive resolution of grievances. For the projects being reviewed, the Prime Minister asked Chief Secretaries to ensure early resolution of pending issues and target completion by the due date.
The next round of talks between the central government and farmers' unions will be held on 4th of January. The centre yesterday held the 6th round of talks with the representatives of farmers' unions in New Delhi. Union Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, Piyush Goyal and Som Prakash were present in the meeting. Speaking after the meeting, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said the talks were held in a very good environment and it concluded on a positive note. He said consensus on 2 out of 4 issues was reached during the meeting.
किसान सम्मिलित हैं, उनकी शंका थी कि किसान को इसमें नहीं होना चाहिए। सरकार ने कहा है कि हम आपकी चिंता से वाकिफ हैं और इस मामले में दोनों पक्षों में रजामंदी हो गई है। दूसरा, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एक्ट जो अभी आया नहीं है, लेकिन उन सबको लगता है कि अगर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी में ये रिफॉर्म आएगा तो इससे किसानों को नुकसान होगा। किसानों की सिंचाई के लिए जो विद्युत की सब्सिडी दी जाती है, वो राज्य जिस प्रकार से पहले से देते रहे हैं, वैसी ही चलनी चाहिए। ऐसी यूनियंस की मांग थी, उस मांग पर भी यूनियन और सरकार के बीच में रजामंदी हो गई। एजेंडे में 4 पॉइंट थे, 4 में से 2 यानी 50% रजामंदी बैठक में हो गई है और ये बहुत ही सुखद वातावरण में संपन्न हुई।
The Agriculture Minister said the government has been saying that minimum support price will continue and it is ready to give this in writing.
हम लोगों ने अपने तर्कों से उनको यह बताने की कोशिश की कि किसान की कठिनाई कहाँ है और जहाँ कठिनाई है वहाँ खुले मन से सरकार विचार करने को तैयार है। इसी प्रकार से एमएसपी के विषय में भी सरकार पहले ही यह कहती रही है कि एमएसपी जारी है, जारी रहेगी। पिछले बार जब हमने प्रस्ताव दिए थे उस समय भी हमने ये कहा था कि एमएसपी जारी रहेगी, ये लिखित में सरकार देने को तैयार है। हम उस पर अभी भी दृढ़ हैं, लेकिन उन्हें ऐसा लगता है कि एमएसपी को कानूनी दर्जा मिलना चाहिए। तो कानून के विषय में और एमएसपी के विषय में चर्चा अभी पूर्ण नहीं हुई है, चर्चा जारी है और हम लोग 4 तारीख को 2 बजे फिर से इकट्ठा होंगे और इन विषयों पर चर्चा को आगे बढ़ाएंगे।
Mr. Tomar said farmers' unions, however, feel MSP should get legal status, so the discussion will continue on the legal aspect of MSP. Mr. Tomar said discussions on 3 farm laws and MSP guarantee will continue in the next round of talks. The minister said, considering the chilly weather in Delhi, he has requested the farm leaders to send home the elderly, women and children. Assam Assembly has passed the Assam Repealing Bill 2020 to abolish all state-run madrasas by converting them to general schools. Opposition Congress and AIUDF staged a walkout when their demand for sending the bill to the Select Committee was rejected. With the passage of the bill, all madrasas being run under the government will be converted into regular educational institutions with effect from 1st of April next year. Yesterday was the last day of the 3-day winter session of the Assembly.
The entire state of Nagaland has been declared a disturbed area for 6 more months. The Home Ministry in a notification said the central government is of the opinion that the area comprising the whole of Nagaland is in such a disturbed and dangerous condition that the use of armed forces in aid of the civil power is necessary. It said, therefore, in exercise of the powers conferred by Section 3 of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act 1958, the central government declares the whole of the state of Nagaland to be disturbed area for a period of 6 months. The Armed Forces Special Powers Act has been in force in Nagaland for several decades. Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank will announce the dates of commencement of CBSE Board Examinations 2021 for classes 10th and 12th this evening. Earlier, during virtual interaction with teachers, Mr. Nishank informed that CBSE is making necessary preparations for conducting the 2021 board examinations for classes 10th and 12th after taking into consideration the suggestions given by students, teachers and parents.
The government has further extended the deadline to file the income tax return ITR for individual taxpayers till 10th of January 2021 in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. The deadline for filing ITR for the financial year 2019-2020 by companies has also been extended till 15 February 2021. The Income Tax Department said the decision has been taken in view of the continued challenges faced by taxpayers in meeting statutory compliances due to COVID-19 outbreak. The due date for filing income tax return by individuals and companies was December 31, 2020 and January 31, 2021. This is the third time that the Income Tax Department has extended the return filing deadline. Also, the due date for filing declaration under Vivad Se Vishwas scheme has been extended to 31st January 2021. The date for passing of orders under Vivad Se Vishwas scheme has been extended to 31st January 2021. The date for passing of order of or issuance of notice by authorities under the Direct Taxes and Benami Acts has also been extended to 31st March 2021. In order to provide relief for the third time to small and middle-class taxpayers in the matter of payment of self-assessment tax, the due date for payment of self-assessment tax date has been extended. Besides, the date for filing GST annual return for 2019-2020 fiscal has been extended by 2 months till February 28, 2021. From tomorrow, FASTag will be mandatory for all vehicles in the country. It will be useful for the commuters as they will not need to stop at toll plazas for cash payments. It will also save time and fuel. The Road Transport and Highways Ministry has issued a notification last month making FASTag mandatory by 1st of January 2021 in all vehicles also sold before 1st December 2017. The ministry said the steps for ensuring the availability of FASTag at multiple channels are being made through physical locations and also through online mechanism so that the citizens are able to have them affixed at their vehicles within the next 2 months at their convenience. Last week, the ministry had said that more than 2 crore 20 lakh FASTag have been issued till date.
In a special series year ender 2020 today, we bring a report on Skill India. National Skill Development Mission, also known as Skill India Mission, was launched on 15 July 2015 to provide a strong institutional framework to implement and scale up skill development efforts across the country. In the last 5 years, nearly 1 crore 2 lakh youths from different regions of the country have been trained under the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has exhorted the youth for skill, reskill and upskill in order to remain relevant in the rapidly changing business environment and market conditions. Addressing a virtual conclave on World Youth Skills Day in 15 July this year, Mr. Modi had said that in a rapidly changing world, millions of skilled people are needed and there is a huge potential, especially in the health sector.
तेजी से बदलती हुई आज की दुनिया में अनेक सेक्टरों में लाखों स्किल्ड लोगों की जरूरत है। विशेषकर स्वास्थ्य सेवाओं में तो बहुत बड़ी संभावनाएं बन रही है। यही समझते हुए अब कौशल विकास मंत्रालय ने दुनिया भर में बन रहे इन अवसरों की मैपिंग शुरू की है। कोशिश यही है कि भारत के युवा को अन्य देशों की जरूरतों के बारे में उसके संबंध में भी सही और सटीक जानकारी मिल सके।
Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Minister Dr. Mahendra Nath Pandey has said that our youth is the biggest asset and an important force in the economic growth and social development of the country. He said the government is focused on enhancing the versatility of different skills, making them suitable to meet the industry demands with the support of new technologies nationally and globally.
हम सब आज के विश्व की जरूरतों के हिसाब से भारत के युवाओं को तैयार करना, भारत के अंदर भारत के बाहर, उस दिशा में भी हमने काफी कदम बढ़ाए हैं और PMKVY 3 का जो प्लान जिसे भारत सरकार ने प्रायोगिक रूप से शुरुआत की मंजूरी दे दी है, उसको हम जो लेके आज आए हैं इस 5 वर्ष की यात्रा में, जिसमें एक नया आभास देश के युवाओं को होगा और कई ऐसे पहलें की गई हैं।
Our correspondent reports that the Skill India scheme is a smart initiative that works towards the development of the country as a whole. Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 3.0 has been approved by the Expenditure Finance Committee, and Skill Development Ministry is targeting to train 8 lakh candidates at an outlay of over 948 crore rupees during 2020-21. The scheme will be launched shortly.
Skill India is an initiative of the Government of India to empower the youth with skill set, making them more employable. It offers courses across several sectors which are aligned to the standards recognized by both the industry and the government under the National Skill Qualification Framework. The Skill India program has numerous benefits, and its objective is to enable youth to take up training in order to secure a better livelihood. There has been a substantial increase in the size of the ITI ecosystem, and more than 5,000 ITIs have been established over the last 5 years. More than 342,000 people were trained in spatial framing. Around 5 lakh apprentices have been trained in the last 3 years. Under the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya Yojana, 4,40,000 candidates have been trained during 2018-19 and 2019-20. Out of them, more than 84,000 candidates belong to scheduled tribes. Besides, over 96,000 people were trained as yoga instructors and trainers under Skill India mission. With Dipendra Kumar, Anupam Mishra, AIR News, Delhi.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to lay foundation stone of AIIMS at Rajkot in Gujarat today. Government and farmers' unions agree on Environment Ordinance and Electricity Act during 6th round of talks. Next meeting on 4th of January. Centre declares Nagaland a disturbed area for 6 more months. Deadline for filing income tax return extended further. Education Minister to announce this evening the schedule for upcoming CBSE Class 10 and 12 board examinations. And COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 95.99%. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 95.99%. Through the last 24 hours, more than 26,000 COVID patients have recovered. Health Ministry said the total number of recoveries has gone up to over 98,34,000. The actual caseload currently comprises only 2.56% of the total positive cases. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is around 2,62,000. During the past 24 hours, 20,550 new cases were reported, taking the total number of positive cases in the country to over 1.2 lakh. Currently, India's case fatality rate is at 1.45%, which is one of the lowest globally. Delhi has reported 677 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases in the national capital to 6,24,795. With 940 recoveries, total number of people cured from the infection has touched 6,08,434.
Odisha government has issued fresh COVID-19 guidelines for next month. The state government has allowed cinema halls and theatres to reopen with 50% of their capacity. Social, religious, sports, entertainment, academic and cultural functions and gatherings have also been allowed with a ceiling of 200 persons per event and with strict adherence to COVID-19 protocols. We have more from our Bhubaneswar correspondent.
Odisha of late has been adding and subtracting almost an equal number of COVID-19 positive and recovered cases in the range of 300 to 400 per day. Consequent upon these, while the active caseload has slumped below 2,500, the new year in Odisha will see further opening up of socio-religious, sports and cultural spaces, though with caps and conditions. Permission for such gatherings will, however, have to be obtained from the concerned district magistrate or municipal commissioner. While the government have also allowed a maximum of 200 persons in marriage ceremonies and half the number in funerals, the state government offices will function at 75% of their staff strength in the twin cities of Cuttack and Bhubaneswar in January 2021. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
Karnataka government has issued guidelines for the New Year celebrations. Restrictions have been imposed under Section 144 on the congregation of over 5 people from 6 this evening till tomorrow morning. Bangalore City Police Commissioner Kamal Pant has said that restrictions will be in place on movement of vehicles in the city and flyovers will be blocked for traffic movement till the curfew ends. More from a Bangalore correspondent.
MG Road, Church Street, Brigade Road, Koramangala and Indranagar in Bengaluru will be no-man zones tonight. These are the places where youngsters gather for the New Year revelry. The DJ events and dance parties are not allowed. The Home Ministry has issued guidelines to celebrate the New Year in a simple and meaningful way to avoid the spread of the pandemic. The New Year will be restricted to residential areas and apartments. Hotels and clubs have been asked to keep the New Year celebration arrangements simple, allowing only limited customers. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh has appealed to the people of the state to welcome the new year with peaceful and simplistic celebrations. Mr. Deshmukh stated that people should abide by the guidelines issued by the state government as the COVID-19 situation is still around. He has made it clear that there is no restrictions on the movement of people who wish to visit their friends and relatives in the night, but they should follow the guidelines issued by the government for preventing overcrowding and maintaining social distance. A report from a Mumbai correspondent.
Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh has said that all the commissioners and superintendents of police in the state have been directed to strictly implement the instructions regarding night curfew and preventing mass gatherings in the state. According to state government's SOPs, hotels, restaurants, pubs and bars have been allowed to remain open till 11 p.m. The state has imposed night curfew, hence gatherings of more than 5 people in public places is strictly prohibited. Deshmukh stated that people visiting hill stations during these days should strictly follow social distancing and avoid huge crowd at famous tourist spots. Booking boats, banquet halls, etc. for parties on December 31st night is not permitted, along with passenger limits for traveling in private cars and on bikes after 11 p.m. The police will also ensure no one is driving drunk, overspeeding or indulging in any unruly behavior. Essential services, however, will continue as always, and delivery of food by food delivery platforms as well as directly from restaurants will be allowed. With Nivedita Borkar, Shailesh Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
Uttar Pradesh government has made it compulsory to have a COVID-19 negative report for all the devotees who want to attend Magh Mela in Prayagraj and also for the other religious events being organized in different parts of the state. A report from our Lucknow correspondent.
Additional Chief Secretary Health Amit Mohan Prasad said that in order to control the infection of COVID-19, it is mandatory for devotees coming to the Magh Mela Prayagraj and Sant Samagam Mathura and other religious congregations to bring negative reports of RT-PCR test done before 5 days of attending the fair. The COVID-19 negative report must be done through the RT-PCR test method. Magh Mela is the first big religious congregation which will be organized after the spread of corona in Uttar Pradesh. Chief Secretary of State R.K. Tiwari has already instructed officials to ensure strict adherence of COVID protocol in Sangam area during Magh Mela. He has directed to conduct rapid antigen tests and thermal scanning of the devotees who will visit Magh Mela area daily and said that it is compulsory for all the Kalpwasis to undergo the RT-PCR COVID test. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
The Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA, has said that suspension of scheduled international passenger flights has been extended till 31st January next year due to COVID-19 pandemic. In a circular, DGCA said the restriction will not apply to international all-cargo operations and flights specifically approved by it.
The Subject Expert Committee, SEC, in the Central Drug Standard Control Organization, CDSCO, met yesterday to consider the emergency use authorization request of Pfizer, Serum Institute of India SII and Bharat Biotech Private Limited. Further time was requested on behalf of Pfizer. The additional data and information presented by SII and Bharat Biotech was perused and analyzed by the SEC. The analysis of the additional data and information is going on. The meeting of the SEC will convene again tomorrow. Indian passengers who travel to the Chinese city of Wuhan, the epicenter of COVID-19 pandemic, by VBM flight on 30th October with Beijing as a destination are in limbo as Chinese authorities have not yet unblocked their passports to enable them to travel to Beijing city either by flight or train. After completing the quarantine, they came to know that their passports were blocked once they were detected positive upon arriving in Wuhan. However, this restriction is only for Beijing and they can travel to any other Chinese city. Chinese Foreign Ministry said it is not aware of the case. Beijing has recently seen an upsurge in locally transmitted COVID cases, leading to certain adjustments in the epidemic protocols, causing a great deal of confusion. The fourth meeting of the India-Sri Lanka Joint Working Group on Fisheries was held yesterday through virtual mode. The meeting covered the entire gamut of issues related to fishermen and fishing boats, which have been on the agenda of bilateral discussions between India and Sri Lanka for many years. The Indian delegation was led by Dr. Rajiv Ranjan, Secretary in the Department of Fisheries in the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying. The Sri Lankan delegation was led by R.M.I. Ratnayake, Secretary in the Ministry of Fisheries in the Sri Lankan government. Dr. Rajiv Ranjan highlighted that the Indian side remains committed to working constructively with the Sri Lankan side to address all issues related to fishermen and their livelihoods in a humanitarian manner and in line with past understandings. Referring to the recent apprehension of 40 fishermen and 6 boats by Sri Lankan Navy, the leader of the Indian delegation called on the Sri Lankan side to ensure their early release until such time to provide necessary facilitation, including consular access and necessary assistance. The Indian side also reiterated the need for releasing all fishing boats in Sri Lankan custody in line with the commitment given by the Sri Lankan President during his state visit to India in November last year.
Most parts of Madhya Pradesh continue to reel under intense cold wave conditions for the last several days. The state is in the grip of bitter cold wave due to icy winds coming from the northern hilly regions. Weather experts say that the people of the state will be entering the new year amid bone-chilling cold. We have more from our Bhopal correspondent.
The cold conditions are forcing people to stay indoors, with the road getting deserted early in the night. At many places, bonfires are lit along the roadside to beat the cold. Minimum temperature between 3 to 10 degrees Celsius have been recorded in 25 cities of the state, while 15 cities faced cold days to severe cold days. The lowest temperature in the state has recorded in Datia, where the mercury has dropped to 3 degrees Celsius. Temperature in the capital city Bhopal remained below 10 degrees for the third consecutive day. According to Met Department, the situation will remain the same in the coming 48 hours. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital will experience cold wave today as the minimum temperature dipped to 3 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 17 degrees Celsius. In Mumbai, the sky will be mainly clear. The minimum temperature was 18 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 31 degrees Celsius. Chennai is expected to witness generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperature will hover between 24 and 29 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will witness fog and mist in the morning and will have mainly clear sky during the day. The temperature will vary between 12 and 25 degrees Celsius. On to the north, in Srinagar, the sky will be mainly clear. The minimum temperature was -4 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 8 degrees. In Jammu, the lower level of temperature was 4 degrees Celsius, while the upper level will be around 19 degrees. The city may have mainly clear sky. In Gilgit, sky will be mainly clear. The temperature will hover between -4 and 13 degrees Celsius. In Muzaffarabad, clear sky is expected. The temperature will hover between 1 and 17 degrees Celsius. Leh may have mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature dipped to minus 15 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around minus 1 degrees. In Dehradun, the temperature will hover between 4 and 20 degrees Celsius. The city will experience cold wave. Chandigarh may witness mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards evening. The minimum temperature is recorded at 6 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be 17 degrees Celsius. In Hyderabad, the minimum temperature was 16 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 29 degrees. The city experienced fog and mist in the morning and is expected to have partly cloudy sky during the day.
As the year ends, there are so many things we are grateful for, even if we had a rough year. As you bid adieu to the year, it is also the time we relive the memories of those who are no longer with us and have a trip down memory lane. The entertainment industry of the country lost some of the noted celebrities this year, and the absence of these stars has created a void that can never be filled. From actors Irfan, Sushant Singh Rajput and Rishi Kapoor to playback singer S.P. Balasubramaniam, several prominent legends left us in 2020. Let us refresh our memories with the sweet and magical voice of the great legend that was S.P. Balasubramaniam.
As the year 2020 comes to a close, All India Radio will broadcast a special program 2020 की बात आकाशवाणी के साथ tonight from 9:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. on FM Gold channel. It will have glimpses of the major events of the year gone by.
का ये गुजरता वर्ष क्या रहा खास? कौन अर्श पर तो कौन फर्श पर? सामाजिक, आर्थिक, वैश्विक और राजनीतिक पटल पर कौन सी घटनाओं ने अपनी छाप छोड़ी? वैश्विक कोरोना आपदा के बीच मनुष्य की जिंदा दिली की कहानी आकाशवाणी की जुबानी। सुनिए विशेष कार्यक्रम 2020 की बात आकाशवाणी के साथ 31 दिसंबर बृहस्पतिवार को रात्रि 9:30 बजे से 10 बजे आकाशवाणी 100.1 FM गोल्ड चैनल पर। यह कार्यक्रम आकाशवाणी के YouTube चैनल न्यूज ऑन AIR ऑफिशियल, AIR न्यूज अलर्ट्स ट्विटर, फेसबुक पेज और पॉडकास्ट पर भी सुना जा सकता है।
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Sixth round of talks between the centre and agitating farmers dominates headlines in most of the dailies this morning. Deadlock broken. Centre concedes farmers' two demands. Talks to continue on two others, writes Business Line. Year-end cheer. India closer to vaccine after UK's Oxford nod, leads the Hindustan Times. The Economic Times informs that UK flight suspension extended till January 7. Post-January 7, there will be restricted flight operations to curb virus strain. Not to export Akash missiles to friendly nations, states the Asian Age, adding new panel form for faster approvals. Writing on the loan app scam, the Times of India write, Chinese held at IGI before flight. The paper quotes the cops as saying transaction worth 21,000 crore rupees made. And finally, Delhiites enjoyed good air quality days in 2020 compared with the past 2 years. Well, the Times of India reports that the capital had 192 good air days due to lockdown.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to lay foundation stone of AIIMS at Rajkot in Gujarat today. Government and farmers' unions agree on Environment, Ordinance and Electricity Act during 6th round of talks, next meeting on 4th of January. Centre declares Nagaland as a disturbed area for 6 more months. Deadline for filing income tax return extended further. Education Minister to announce this evening schedule for upcoming CBSE Class 10th and 12th board examinations. And COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 95.99%. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.